It's Friday the 13th, and the price of whale meat. Hello, fellow Market Club members everywhere. Adam Hewison here, co-founder of Market Club, with your midday market update for Friday the 13th of July. Well, sometimes Friday the 13th can be a scary time, and of course the markets today have had a big move up based on the whale trade. This morning, before the bell, JP Morgan announced their earnings for the second quarter and also the size of their loss they took on the synthetic derivative whale trade made in their London offices. I guess the price of whale meat is about $5.8 billion. We may see more losses from that trade come out later, but for now, that's what they're admitting to, 5.8 million. Billion, I should say, not million. The markets, however, are acting in a very positive manner based on these earnings, and JP Morgan's up dramatically today, up almost 6% right now, and it's higher for the week, which is very, very interesting. I can't say the same thing for the stock markets because they are lower for the week, but we do have a massive day today with lots of trades going on and lots of activity. So let's get started right away. We are looking at my homepage. Welcome, Adam Hewison, and let's go to our portfolio, which you can just simply click on here. I've already set mine up in another tab. There it is. And we have a lot of markets to go through today. And we'll start with the S&P 500. It's a plus 55, as you can see. So let's just click on that chart and see where we are right now. And now we did hit a PSAR at today, so that's a positive sign. But the other thing to look at here is a couple of things. One is we closed last week at 1,354. We're practically unchanged for the week, and given the fact that today we're up, gosh, what are we up? 1.39%, 1.4%. So it's a pretty massive move for just the week on one day. But the question is, has this made a turn? Now, remember, we were down almost 6 days in a row. So having a short covering rally based on where everybody was placed is not so surprising. We are at a plus 55, indicating trading range. So I would think that we're going to see maybe something very symmetrical here in terms of, let me just explain what I mean by that. So what I'm looking at basically is we have a high here, and I would say we'll probably do a high here. I don't think we're going to take out this high at all. That's right around the 1380 level. So I don't think we're going to see that happen. I think what we can happen is we sort of come up like this, and then I think eventually we're going to see the market go down. This is going to be some sort of a top. And this level here, which has been in place for a long time, this monthly trade triangle, which has been keeping the market down, you can see we have a mixed bag. The weekly is up, and the daily is down. So actually the daily is now, it's still down, excuse me, it's still down. So you have this 55 as a trading range. So I think for the most part, we really want to be a little bit careful here about following, getting too excited about this rally. I think maybe Monday and Tuesday we'll see some two-way action, much like we saw back here, and I think that's going to be the change of pace here on this market. So let's go to our next market, and the next market we're going to be looking at is crude oil. Now we are going to be looking at the bank stocks as well today, so let's just scope this in just a little bit closer. You can see crude oil again has a positive there, but I want to draw your attention to this one quick fact, just with a Fibonacci line here. There we are. Click it there, and click here and here. We are pretty much there on the Fibonacci. It's very hard to see, but let me scope that in a little bit closer for you. So you can see basically we just traded right above that Fibonacci, which is right around these levels, around the 87 level. It's a 61.8% retracement. Let me just scope that a little bit higher, make it perfect. So right around the 87 level. So we're there now. The question is, are we going to see this market continue to go higher? Now, last week we closed in crude oil at 84.23, so it is up quite a bit, almost 3 cents for the week. So it hasn't turned our monthly around yet. It's only the weekly and the daily, so it's a plus 60, meaning a trading range, and we're at the top of the trading range, and we're overbought on the Williams percent R. So I'd say caution, be a little bit in order on that market to get too enthusiastic on the long side. Now here we are looking at the Dow Jones Industrials. Let me scope this out a little further. You can see we've got a big day going there, but still, nonetheless, it's a trading range. It's not a clear-cut trend yet that we're seeing in this market. I think given the scenario, we may see a similar time period where we have a high here, like we had a high here, and then project a high somewhere around there. But I don't think it's going to take out these highs around the 13,000 1,000 area. So let's see what happens next week. I think for the most part the trading is done for the day. Everyone's got their bets on. Now this is the silver market. Silver market is pretty much dismal. It's minus 70, sort of just going around. Not much enthusiasm on the upside or the downside in that trading range, and I think it's going to likely to continue there. It has not really done much for the week. Last week we closed at 27.71. It's 27.39.36 last. So it's down a little bit for the week, which is what we like to see in terms of trends. So let's go to our next market, and that's going to be the euro dollar. Now the euro dollar, even the euro dollar, if I scope this in closer, had that little positive day. Hard to believe, but it was a little positive day, and that's been under pressure for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days. So even a blind squirrel can find a nut here, and I think that's exactly what's happening. So generally speaking, the trend is very clearly down. Last week we closed in the euro, we closed at 124.06. We're currently trading 122.33, and I think that says it all. I think the market's going to continue down. We have a minus 90. The trend is clearly down in this market, so I wouldn't get excited about buying this market anytime soon. Now this is the NASDAQ. Now the NASDAQ is currently trading around 2,902. Last week we closed at 2,937. So this index is, in fact, even with today's rally, which is significant, 1.27%, is still down for the week. So pay close attention to that. Again, it's not a particularly positive sign. I think everybody sort of got excited about this market, and I think this market rallied because one, it had so many days down here, and also it got very close to the support area, which we talked about in previous videos. So let's go to our next market. That's going to be the gold spot market, and again, that's performed very well today. It found support pretty much where we saw it, around the 1560, 1550 area. Big up today. However, this market is still in that trading range and longer term in a negative trend. So I think the idea of getting enthusiastic to buy it here is a mistake. I think I'd rather buy it moving out of this platform, maybe 1650, 1660, or not buy it at all, or to sell it if it goes below the low of 1540. So right now I think it's in no man's land. I think there's any reason to really get excited about this. So let's go to our next market. And the next market we're looking at is going to be the copper market. Now the copper market is doing something pretty interesting here. We do have a monthly trade triangle that's down, but it looks as though we're trying to build a base. Let me scope this out just a little bit further so you get an idea. To me, it looks as though if we just put a, let me get my drawing tool on and show you. It looks as though potentially we could be making this type of thing. This is like a double head, and there. So this is the key level in my mind, right along here, and this is right around the 355 level. I think that's a very key level. If it breaks on over the top here, I think you've made a bottom, and I think you can go up to 380, somewhere like this. That would be the target zone, but only if we see a break above that level. So let's see how that plays out. But generally speaking, the copper market is still sort of into an emerging uptrend, but you still have this real problem with the monthly. So as long as that's in place, I can't get enthusiastic about this market on the long side. So let's clear the screen and go to our next market. And that's going to be the CRB Reuters Jefferies Index. Now, if you remember, we broke below the critical PSAR yesterday. We have a big bounce up today, but no really enthusiasm about pushing this higher, which is kind of surprising. So this is going to be a very interesting market to watch next week, simply because we have got this lows here, and if it breaks below there, you're going to see some pressure. Plus, we're in an overbought condition finally. So I think you want to watch this, but still the trend, at least the short-term trend, is on the upside. So let's play that for what it looks like right now. So next market is going to be the core. Now this is an interesting market. Now this market was up sharply higher earlier, and it's come back down. Again, we've gotten up to the highs like this day here, which was what's Wednesday, I guess. So we had a reversal down, came right back up. Somebody's selling it right above this level, right around the 750. Actually, that's right around the 749, 750 level. People seem to be some selling coming into this pressure. Selling pressures coming into this market, which is sort of surprising given the weather. But last week we closed at, corn closed at 692, and of course it's higher for the week, which is the operative thing. But again, I would watch these elements here. It just has a sense that I wouldn't try to pick a top right here because that's a silly thing to do in trading. But just be aware that this market has had a big run up, and we may be seeing this market just getting a little bit tired. So next market we're looking at is going to be wheat. Same thing with wheat, except wheat made a new high today, which is kind of surprising. A lot of people, and that could have been the corn-wheat spread. People are unlegging who are long corn, short wheat, but I think now maybe they reversed themselves a little bit. But again, we made new highs, but the momentum in the Williams percent R did not follow. So again, something to pay close attention to. Next market is going to be soybeans. These are really the big three. Now this again, soybeans did not really react that well. You had here was the first move out, boom, boom, boom. No follow through really today, which is surprising, but it does say that soybeans are up dramatically for the week, almost 46 cents. So that's a pretty impressive number. So let's see how that plays out. But generally speaking, the trend is your friend, and the trend continues to be positive for this market. So let's go to the markets that are interesting. That's the JP Morgan Chase, and you can see, yes, it's up here. Minus 55. Now what this is a trading range. It's not to get confused with suddenly, wow, things are wonderful. Again, it's not saying that at all. It's saying right now we're in a trading range, and the trading range has got this really solid 37 top on it, and the market really needs to break over that if it's going to get anything going on the upside. I'm not so sure it's going to happen. I think you can see we had, let's see, starting from this day here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days approximately, where it was just over the 36 level, and it really did have problems. So I think that's what I'm going to watch very carefully next week. I think obviously the $5.8 billion loss, some people expected more. I'm not sure what anyone expected, but the market was actually pretty well set on the short side, and I think all of this a lot of it's been short covering in JP Morgan. So let's clear the screen, go to our next market. Next market we're going to be looking at is another bank stock, and that bank stock here is, let's see, I beg your pardon, this is the FAZ, which tracks the bank stocks under a lot of pressure today. It's down 5.88%. So I think we have to look at this next week, but I want to spend more time on the bank stocks because they're more important right now. But here's Citi. Again, we had a signal yesterday on the weekly. So all of our weekly, monthly, and daily are all negative. Today's short covering rally did not change that. So I think this is still looking very, very sick. I mean, obviously JP Morgan Chase looks better than Citi, which still looks like a disaster to me. So let's go to our next market. And this is Bank of America. Bank of America, same thing there. We had a weekly several days ago, and that still looks negative, monthly and weekly negative, and we are overbought. So I would look for these markets to sort of become a little bit softer next week. I don't think we're going to see that follow through in the upside. All we need is some bad news. I think a lot of the weak short holders are out of this market today, and I think we'll see this market resume its downtrend sometime next week. But Wells Fargo, if you want to own a bank, this is probably the one to own because this is really looking very, very good. New highs. You see the trend here is still the weekly and the monthly, but it looks like it's building that base. Let's look at a larger picture. And you can see this market really needs to get over these highs, though. This to me is the key, right around the 34.50, 34.60 level. So I'd rather buy it going higher than try to think it's going to go higher. This is definitely a stronger bank by far than the other banks we just showed you. So let's see how things play out. But again, if you haven't called us on our personal one-on-one Market Club coach, I really recommend you do. It's going to be a really good thing for you and help you become a better trader. I'm confident in saying that. So it's one-on-one Market Club coach. That's right, you have your own personal coach that works with you and helps you. It's a free consultation. 877-219-1482. It's a free call. So give us a call today while we have our consultants right here with us. So 877-219-1482. Hey, I'm Adam Hewison. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday.